Hello and a warm welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us once again here on Sports Tiger. First of five T20 internationals between India and England are also set to start. And the big news coming from Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad is it's England who have won the toss and they have elected to have bowl first. I think it's a good decision because going into the game where you don't know as how the conditions would be, and when you know that dew factor will definitely come into play, I think Eoin Morgan has definitely 20% ahead in the race. Yuvraj, welcome to the show. Of course, good evening. What are your initial thoughts? What do you think? England winning the toss with the lineup they have, with the bowling lineup they have, can they trouble India in Indian conditions?
I think they have played to their strengths. They have won the toss. They've elected to field first. They've been a better chasing side in limited overs cricket for a long time now. They've preferred chasing. England as a team has been better chasers. That's a known fact. Stats भी यही बताते हैं. And everything that around that suggests that. And considering the kind of lineup they have, I think they've played a very, very good lineup. Jason Roy and Josh Butler at the top of the order. David Malan, Johnny Bairstow, Owen Morgan, Ben Stokes. They also have Sam Curran. They've gone with Sam Curran instead of Tom Curran. So there might be some tinge of green on the pitch. Sam Curran is playing. Tom Curran is not. That's always indicative of the fact that there is some seam movement available on the pitch. Then Jofra Archer, Chris Jordan, Adil Rashid, and Mark Wood. That is, I think, standard. For India, Rohit Sharma is not there. I think it's a bit of a rest for him, or he might have a slight niggle after the toss or before the toss, not after the toss, of course. But a good toss to win. Uh, this match is being played on black soil. The test matches were played on red soil. That's why the ball was turning so much. Now we move to black soil, and black soil is known for batting, and that's of course a tactical decision because T20s people want to see runs being scored. There, the World Test Championship was online, so India had to prepare a pitch like this. But now we can see a batting bonanza, I think. And England, having won the toss, as you mentioned very correctly, they're slightly ahead of the game, not much. We still don't know how the pitch will play. All five matches on one ground, we see that very rarely, but this time we are seeing it. But the pitch will hold well because there are on this ground there is one other advantage.
Right.
According to the pitch, the boundaries can be set up. So if you move the pitch one side, it won't be like a skewed ground. One side boundary is short, one side boundary is long. It won't be skewed. So because there is space between the boundary and the spectators, so you can set the boundary. That's why five matches can be played on this ground. There are five pitches, so five. I think five matches might be played on five pitches.
Well, absolutely. I totally agree to that because the gap is not much. First game is on 12th, then just one day rest, and then, of course, on 14th, 16th, 18th, and 20th, five games on the trot. Let's see at the playing 11, and then we will discuss as what exactly can happen in this game. Playing 11 and toss update on your screen. India versus England, the first T20 international. It's England captain Eoin Morgan who has won the toss and he has elected to have a bowl. When you look at India's playing 11, it's of course KL Rahul and Shikhar Dhawan. Virat Kohli made a big statement, Yuvraj, and that was, we are resting Rohit Sharma for a couple of games. I really don't understand why that resting strategy is actually coming into picture when you know that somebody who is of cadre of somebody like Rohit Sharma, who did not play the T20Is against the Australia as well, hasn't been given an opportunity, and we are terming him as the vice captain of Indian cricket team, and you are not playing vice captain in the side. So that's a big question. We will be discussing that. But before that, Shreyas Iyer will be batting at number 4, followed by Rishabh Pant at number 5. Then, of course, Hardik Pandya, who was in the 15 in the test matches, did not get an opportunity there. But as soon as we talk about the shortest format of the game, Hardik Pandya seems to be back. Then, of course, Washington Sundar, Akshar Patel is playing. So that seems to be a very good sign because Ravindra Jadeja is missing and he knows the conditions really well. So Akshar Patel is that player. Bhuvneshwar Kumar is making a comeback after a long time. And I think this has only been possible because Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami are not there. So I think just Bhuvneshwar Kumar has got the opportunity followed by Shardul Thakur, and how can we forget the entertainer, that is of course Yuzvendra Chahal. So I think all in all, a good playing 11. A couple of things to talk about from the India's playing 11. Yuvraj, if you can look at the England's playing 11, and then we will discuss as what is best in this game going forward.
For sure, England have a very good, solid opening lineup. Jason Roy and Josh Butler at the top of the order. Both are very destructive. Very less respite given by them to the bowlers. Jason Roy, Josh Butler is a deadly combination. David Malan, number one T20 batsman. 450s for him in his last five T20 innings. Number one T20 batsman in the world. Let's see. Can he do that? Do the same in India as well? He's not played so much in India. So we haven't seen him in India so far. He scored most of his runs in England. He scored some runs in New Zealand and some in Australia. But England has been his prime run getting venue. Johnny Bairstow, चौथे नंबर पे और पांचवे पे Eoin Morgan. Johnny Bairstow opens most of the time. I don't know if he will be able to adjust in the middle order. He wasn't able to in Test cricket. Yeah. Here also, he likes the ball coming onto the bat, especially the white ball. He's used to that hard ball which is bouncing coming onto the bat. Here he will not get that. First, because it's India, the bounce is not that much. Second, he's batting in the middle order, so you get to face the older ball. Then Eoin Morgan, then Ben Stokes, of course, a lot riding on him as well. Not just in T20s, but in all formats. Sam Curran playing today. Jofra Archer and Chris Jordan. These are the three seamers. Fourth one is Mark Wood, and Adil Rashid is the sole spinner. I hope again England been able to read the pitch well, because again India are playing three spinners and two seamers. England are playing four seamers and one spinner. It was expected that Moeen Ali might play, but they've gone in with four seamers again, and I don't know if they've read the pitch wrongly again. They've done that quite a few times in the past.
Absolutely, because they did the same mistake when they were playing the ping ball test match as well. On one hand, when India played Washington Sundar, Akshar Patel and Ravichandran Ashwin, they went with just one spinner, and it looked like that they are doing the same mistake again. Yuvraj, I want to just drift away from this topic and talk about a couple of things which seems to be a little more important. The first one is, as I was saying when I was reading out the playing 11 as well, Rohit Sharma. Such a big player in the white ball cricket. I really don't understand. How can you rest your vice captain from the side?
It might be a rest for the mind. That's what I think, because of the biosecurity bubble complications, and you have to stay alone for a long time. Even the family has been allowed now, but players have been traveling for a long time. Now it is like when you're in your home conditions, but in a different venue. It feels like foreign, because crowd wasn't attending the matches. In Motera it was allowed, but you have to stay alone. And first quarantine, before every series you have to serve a 14-day quarantine when you shift venues. So it becomes a little tough. That might be the reason why he has been rested. But again, that we don't know what's the exact reason. All of us thought that Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul might open before Virat Kohli revealed, of course, that Rohit Sharma won't be playing. And KL Rahul and Shikhar Dhawan is also a very good combination, left-right combination. Shikhar Dhawan did score some runs in Vijay Hazare Trophy. He wasn't at his prime best, but still he did get one century, so he might be feeling confident. But Rohit Sharma not in the side is always a loss, because he has proved to be the best player for India, whether in test matches, sometimes in ODIs as well. And without a doubt, I think Rohit Sharma is one of the best T20 batsmen in the world right now. So a big loss, but India might have considered things and then given him this rest.
I am seeing this from two angles, Yuvraj. The first one is Rohit Sharma is the vice captain of the side, and now I am not seeing Rohit Sharma just as an opener. I am seeing Rohit Sharma as the second captain, who can probably help Virat Kohli when Virat Kohli is tensed. Now, when Virat Kohli is tensed, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is not behind the stumps. It will be Rishabh Pant, because Rishabh Pant is back in the white ball cricket. Now, where will he be going? He cannot go anywhere. Whether he will be asking KL Rahul, who has less experience than Virat Kohli, whether he will be discussing it with the bowlers. That's one. The second is, when the squad was announced, There were players like Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, who were included in the squad. There was, of course, Rahul Tewatia, who unfortunately couldn't clear the fitness test. Why are we not giving them opportunity? Now here we are actually talking about the 2021 World Cup, which is scheduled to be played in September, October in Indian conditions. Why are we not trying these players? Are we still focusing on just winning the series?
This has been Virat Kohli's mentality. He takes every match as a separate match, whether in the larger scheme of things or any context. Except the Asia Cup, I think India takes everything seriously because always in the Asia Cup they send a second scrunch team, but all other series they take it very seriously. The Zimbabwe tour for that matter. Lots of players make their debut in the Zimbabwe tour, except that when playing against England, Australia, New Zealand. Again, I'd like to keep Sri Lanka in that category as well, where India sends B teams and C teams. But when playing against nations like England, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, they always give a full importance, prime importance to these series. But India should keep trying. I think at least in the T20 format, because one day format is a format where all focus should go. Test cricket, of course, India has been focusing a lot, and they are the best team in the world in rankings as well, in Test Championship table as well. So in T20 cricket, there is scope for chopping and changing, which India might experiment with.
Well,
Should
absolutely.
maybe they
There
should.
seems to be a scope of improvement there. And now I want to shift to the England squad. How strong they are looking on paper. Because Yuvraj, if you will see, Jason Roy, he hasn't been in the best of form and will be a little sad for not being able to make it to the Indian Premier League. Any franchise, no franchise actually went for him. Then, of course, Joss Butler, when it comes to the shortest format, he is just all guns. David Malan, we all know the number one T20 player, and of course, then Johnny Bairstow, Eoin Morgan, Ben Stokes. The batting is still actually Adil Rashid because Adil Rashid can also bat. Do you think going into the shortest format of the game with the captain changing, and as you rightly mentioned, that pitch will also change from red soil to the black soil, it can go under the favor of Englishmen after winning the toss?
It could, because England are a very, very strong limited overs side. And considering the kind of batting ability they possess, always in the limited overs format, they have been like this. Sometimes they've also had batting till number 11 when Chris Wokes plays instead of Mark Wood. When he
Yeah.
plays, they have batting till number 11. Chris Wokes also bats. Adil Rashid plays at number 11 when Chris Wokes is in the team. Chris Jordan can strike a few lusty blows. Jofra Archer, we know what he can do, what he did in IPL 2020. Just kept hitting them out of the ground. Then, of course, even Sam Curran as a bowler, he's equally good as a batsman. So very strong side. They have so many batsmen in their side, and T20 is a batsman's game. There is no doubt about that. So England might have an upper hand after winning the toss as well, but India won't be backing down. They look very strong as well. If Rohit was there, it would have been a full strength squad. But despite Rohit not being there, it still looks like a very good team. If the pitch turns a little, then India will certainly gain advantage because they have Washington Sundar, Akshar Patel, and Yuzvendra Chahal. If England have read the pitch well, then they have the advantage. If they haven't read it well, then India have the advantage.
Let's discuss a couple of things more before we sum it up. The first one is how much of a score can India put up in the first innings? If you will personally ask me, I'm thinking that a score between 170 to 180 would be a score that India would be targeting. A couple of reasons for that. One, they are playing on this wicket after a long time because they might have played red ball or pink ball cricket, but white ball cricket after 6 year gap. So I think the things will be a little different. So 170 to 180 is what they would be targeting. On the other hand, I think Englishmen will try their level best to restrict them somewhere between 155 to 160. What are your thoughts?
India will be looking for a huge score. I think even 190 plus might not be safe for a team like England whose batting depth is really deep. So
Yeah.
India will be looking to score as much as possible. And considering the kind of batsmen they have, the advantages that they have in their team is first, four batsmen can play both games. can stay at the crease and can also hit the ball out of the ground at will. Even Virat Kohli can, I think. And after that, you have two pinch hitters. That is the biggest advantage India have for today: Hardik Pandya and Rishabh Pant. So when they come into bat, I think it'll be one-way cricket when Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya might be batting, and if they're playing together at the crease, we could see some fireworks. So that is the advantage India have, and even Washington Sundar Akshar Patel can strike some blows. So India batting first, they will be looking for 190 plus. Again, the pitch will do a lot. Pitch will reveal a lot as the game goes on. They should be looking to go right from the word go, because again India also bat deep. They bat till Shardul Thakur, even Bhuvneshwar Kumar can bat. So I think similar. We forgot about India when we were talking about England. India also bat very very deep,
Yeah.
except Yuzvendra Chahal, and all the players can bat. So that is another advantage India have. So let's take it back to 50-50 now. Not let's not give England the advantage.
Absolutely. And since we are talking about Rohit Sharma and of course Rishabh Pant, let's talk about what can be the fantasy guide. Now we had made this fantasy guide just before the start of game, and that's the reason we had picked somebody like Rohit Sharma as the captain. Now when Rohit Sharma is not playing, the question arises as who to make the captain. If you'll ask me, I would personally go with somebody like Virat Kohli, because Virat Kohli would want to score runs. It's been a while that he has been in that prime form, so he will try to score some runs. So three wicket keepers: KL Rahul, of course, followed by Rishabh Pant and Josh Butler, to whom we have made the vice captain. Captain will be Virat Kohli, followed by Hardik Pandya, Eoin Morgan, and David Malan. And of course, the all-rounder, we have just picked one, Benjamin Stokes, along with three bowlers, two spinners, and a fast bowler, Yuzvendra Chahal, Adil Rashid, and of course, Jofra Archer. So that's our fantasy team. If you play fantasy, I think this is the team that you should be going forward with. KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant, and Josh Butler. Josh Butler being the vice captain, Virat Kohli being the captain, and of course, Hardik Pandya, Eoin Morgan, David Malan, the other batsman, Benjamin Stokes, the lone all-rounder, and of course, three bowlers, two spinners. That is, of course, Yuzvendra Chahal, Adil Rashid, and the speedster Jofra Archer is back. So that's the fantasy team. What are your thoughts on it, Yuvraj?
I think KL Rahul is a very good option for captain as well, because India will be batting first, and while opening, KL Rahul is an absolutely fabulous batsman. We've seen that in the IPL. So Virat Kohli is also a good option, the kind of hunger he has for runs, but KL Rahul, according to me, would be a better option for captaincy. Apart from that, I think the whole team looks good, and instead of Rohit Sharma, you also have a couple of options. If you want to trust Virat Kohli, you can. Today might be his day. You can also pick Shreyas Iyer if you want. If you want, Shreyas Iyer will give you 30 to 35 runs for sure, I think. And Virat Kohli might give you even more. So a lot of good options. But for captaincy, I think it has to be KL Rahul for me personally.
Absolutely. And now let's come to the last thing which we would want to discuss before the start of the game that is best tweets before the game. The first one is coming from Sharik, and he's saying that when last time India versus England happened in Nagpur, Jasprit Bumrah, who is not playing the game because of personal commitments, conceded just 2 runs and took 2 wickets in the final over to secure India a nerve-shredding victory in the second T20 in Nagpur to level the series 1-1. Yes, I think his services will be missed in this T20I series. I think team management along with the captain would be hoping that he can be back in action as soon as possible. We all don't know why Jasprit Bumrah has bent. There are rumors that he is getting married in Goa on the 14th and the 15th. It's not confirmed yet, and if it is, then Jasprit Bumrah might be taking a little longer break than we all expect. The second tweet is, of course, from IPL Insider, and they are saying excited to watch KL Rahul after so long. He was expecting, as we were, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul, a dream opening combination. That is not there. Left and right combination will be there, IPL Insider. So it's Shikhar Dhawan and, of course, KL Rahul who will be opening the innings for India in just about 4-5 minutes from here. Yuvraj, final words. What do you think about the game? Who is going one up? And when we will be chatting, of course, Monty Banesar, who will be happy, whether it will be us or whether it will be Monty Vanesar?
I think I have a gut feeling India might win most of these matches. I feel it might be 3-2 towards India or 4-1. That's the scoreline I'm predicting before the start of the series. But again, since both of the sides are very good in limited overs cricket as well, and similar combinations, similar balance in the side, except the presence of seamers and spinners. That is the only difference in the sides. Batting ability very similar. Number three, Virat Kohli. Number three, David Malan. Very, very similar batting styles, except that one is a left-hander, one is a right-hander. Opening combination, both are very explosive. And then down the order, England also have pinch hitters. Eoin Morgan can do that. Ben Stokes can do that. India have Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya. India have three spinners. England have four spinners. That is the only difference. But very, very good sides. We are in for a great, great series. I think a very good contest, teeth to teeth contest. I think.
Absolutely. It's a great contest ahead of us. Just 4 minutes to the game. And thank you so much for everyone who joined us in this preview. India versus England is just 4 minutes away. And we all are excited. It's Virat Kohli up against Eoin Morgan. The first match, England has won the toss and they have elected to bowl. We will be joining you guys back in the review where we'll be talking to our expert, none other than Monty Barnesser. So do join us. Until then,